We're catching you up with a small group of Amish teenagers who passed through a coming-of-age tradition in their community. It's called rumspringa, loose translation, time for running around. That sounds like something all teenagers do, but as Jay Shadler reports, for Amish teenagers, the stakes are so much greater.
At 17, Lena is the youngest of 11 children.
Well, my dream is right now is to leave the Amish and do whatever I want to. I want to do a lot of stuff and just go out and have freedom for a while, completely freedom.
We've followed Lena across 4 seasons as she leaves before dawn 5 days a week to clean houses. A non-Amish friend gives her a lift into town. This 20-minute car ride would be 2 hours by buggy. Her work is hard, but not nearly the struggle of being caught between 2 worlds, wearing her blue jeans and a secret life under her Amish dress.
You don't feel Amish in your heart?
No.
Yeah. What do you feel?
I don't know.
At home, her mother, a widow for more than a decade, works a bike pump to push air into a handmade lamp. She asked us not to show her face on camera because to do so would violate her biblical teachings. But up in the dim light of Lena's lantern room, a secret 21st century teenage scene.
I pretty much am on my phone all night, like texting people or listening to music. It's really confusing because, like you guys, you're not an Amish, so you don't have to worry about it.
Like the flickering light, Lena's decision to stay or leave the Amish changes moment to moment.
What kind of things do scare you, though, about this decision?
Well, if you leave the Amish, you kind of like halfway lose your family. And all the Amish hate you, pretty much. So, it's scary.
Well, ready to go kill a big buck.
Like Lena, Harley comes from a big family. He is the oldest of 13 children. At 19, he likes to hunt along the Ohio-Kentucky border and once dreamed of being a truck driver.
Where did you come up with that idea, do you think?
Going down the highway in the horse and buggy and watching semis pass me.
Cloistered in their own world, the Amish live without cars or electricity. Modern technology, they say, weakens the family and brings temptation and vanity. But Harley sees no sin in changing with the times, just a little sadness.
When I first left the Amish, I missed my family, like, very bad.
Sometimes he still drives by the old place.
Right now I'm living about 3 miles from my family. I try and stay away to respect Mom and Dad.
Do you think that they're embarrassed by you?
They're disappointed in me, but Mom and Dad are glad to see me. But in another way, they're afraid it'll, be a bad influence for the other kids.
A 4-hour buggy ride down the road from Harley, we come to 18-year-old Nelson. The oldest of 11 children, he has the only buggy in central Ohio blasting Springsteen in surround sound.
Tell me all the things you bring this thing out with.
Well, I got 2 12-inch subwoofers in the back and 2 10-inch speakers. And I got these on top, and I got a 500-watt amp down in the back.
Like Lena and Harley, Nelson is in the middle of deciding if he should stay or leave the Amish. If he stays, he would be forced to leave the 21st century behind and roll the clock back 200 years. Like other Amish, he would have to do without modern conveniences, cars, music, and there'll be no education beyond the 8th grade. But at least for the moment, he seems to believe in God and his gadgets.
How many of your friends have iPods?
Actually, I was the first one to get an iPod.
What's that? I just heard a buzz. What's that?
That's my phone vibrating. I got 2 text messages on it.
So, for all intents and purposes, you are, you're a thoroughly modern young man.
I just tell them I'm high-tech Amish.
But Nelson, like our other teens, can't remain on this bridge between childhood and adulthood forever. Soon, Nelson will have to decide if he is going to be baptized into his faith.
To be baptized means that you have accepted Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And that you accept the rules of the Amish.
Yeah.
So all of the technology goes away.
Well, the only thing I have left is basically the shell of the buggy.
Just the shell of the buggy.
Yep.
Does it take courage to be an Amish in this world?
Yes, it does.
Live free.
There's a quietness in this life. And family means a lot.
This is just the way it is. And the outside world is far away.
According to Amish belief, only adults who know the difference between right and wrong can be baptized and officially join the church. Choose not to, and you may be shunned by your family and faith for all eternity. Which is precisely why Amish teenagers on the verge of adulthood face such a monumental decision.
Do you think that it's harder coming of age in this time than it was when you were growing up?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, a lot more temptations.
Though, as we mentioned, it's against Amish tradition to have their pictures taken, two elders, a couple married 40 years, agreed to a rare silhouetted conversation about being Amish today.
The basic values are mother and father and children living together. There's no divorces. They do things together. And you know you have to go to church. And you know, by the time you're 7, 8, 9 years old, you get into the habit of doing all this, and this is just the way it is. Are you ready?
But during rumspringa, the young are allowed to stretch a bit, and most Amish parents will temporarily turn a blind eye to the rock music, cell phones, and tight jeans.
But in the most conservative Amish communities, there's no room even for rumspringa. No way but the Amish way. And that's when some teenagers decide that the only road to freedom is to run away. And on this country lane tonight, that's precisely what's going to happen.
Inside this van, a search and rescue mission is in full swing. Harley, along with another former Amish teen, are on their way to pick up an Amish runaway named Danny.
I know exactly how Danny feels right now. It's like the last hour at home, you're like all nervous, watching the clock, time don't move.
As they approach Danny's house, the boys flash their headlights, a signal to Danny.
He should be out beside the road a couple hundred feet from his dad's farm, and we planned that we'd meet him there at 12 o'clock. It's now 11:52.
Minutes pass, midnight comes.
Here's where he's supposed to be at.
I should have gave him a two-way or talkie-walkie or something.
Once more, they make a pass along the road.
I don't really like to drive past his dad's place too often.
At 12:08, they spot someone walking toward the light.
There he is.
It's Danny.
Hey, Danny.
Having run away from his old world, can he survive in his new one?